Happy Halloween, boys and girls, and welcome back to Going to Bed with Mike and Steve. I'm Mike.
And I'm Steve.
And where we left off, we're basically continuing chapter 1 because we ran out of time to complete it. And we were looking, if you're following along at home, you probably think we're a couple of idiots because we were like,
through a page.
Due to the length of this episode, I said, or due to the length of this particular chapter, we're going to have to cut this off halfway. We had literally read to not even the midway point on page 3.
Due to all of our fantastic stories.
But we promise that from now on, we will make sure to do at least one entire chapter per episode. But let's finish this chapter for this episode.
We had to wait a whole 24 hours to finish this
chapter. All right. So where we left off, Brandy wanted an egg hunt. Her older brother was having an unreasonable conniption fit about it. No! Brandy's birthday came on a warm and sunny day, only a few small cumulus clouds high in the sky. Parentheses, I study clouds. Mom, but that's like first grade knowledge. They teach every kid his age should know the difference between a cumulus, a nimbus, a rhombus. No. What are the different kinds of clouds? Yeah. See, here I am like bitching about some kid.
Decagon.
Dodecahedron. No, there's cumulus, nimbus. I wanted to say Sagittarius. It's not right.
He knows more than we do.
He knows more than I do about clouds. Cumulus, nimbus, rhombus, Sagittarius, dodecahedron. No.
We should not give him crap for this.
Okay, good for you studying clouds. Mom hurried out of the backyard after breakfast, lugging a big bucket of eggs. I'll help you hide them, I told her. That wouldn't be fair, Dana, Mom replied. You're gonna be in the egg hunt, too. Remember? I almost forgot. Brandy usually doesn't want me hanging around when her friends come over, but today she said I could be in the egg hunt, and so could my best friend, Anne Gravel. Her last name is Gravel. She is the heiress to the Gravel fortune. You've heard of Gravel before.
He likes dirt. He said he likes studying plants and what... Was it dirt? Was dirt one of them?
No, it was like bugs and animals, wasn't it? Bugs and animals and fingernails.
He likes dirt.
He likes dirt.
If you know what I mean.
But yeah, she's her family is extremely rich. You've heard of Gravel. What you didn't realize before was that it is, in fact, that's actually the brand name. It's like Band-Aids. Everybody calls all bandages Band-Aids when really Band-Aid is a trademarked company product.
It's really a bandage adhesive.
It's an adhesive bandage. Same thing with like Frisbee.
It's just a flying disc.
Plastic flying disc.
You got something great when you call it by that specific brand
No,
name.
your brand will never die as long as...
Right.
So, it's like Googling. You Google on Google, you Google on Bing, you Google on ask.com. I was going to say Ask
Let's go
Jeeves.
to Ask Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves.
And then hey, can you Yahoo that real quick?
Anne lives in the house next door. My mom is best friends with Anne's mom. Mrs. Gravel agreed to let Mom hide eggs all over their backyard too, so it's only fair that Anne gets to join in. Anne is tall and skinny and has long red-brown hair. Ooh. She's nearly a head taller than me, so everyone thinks she's older, but she's 12 too. Anne is very funny. She's always cracking jokes. Fun fact, before R.L. Stine was R.L. Stine writing horror, children's, and young adult books, he went by the name Jovial Bob Stine and wrote 12 joke books for children. Google that, Bing that one, ask Jeeves question, Yahoo it, and you're gonna find that to be
We would love to get our hands off that and tell you guys hilarious jokes.
We will have to, we'll wait until April. April will read R.L. Stine joke books for April Fool's Month. But for right now, but R.L. Stine knows what's funny, and I hope that we get to hear some of Anne's hilarious jokes.
Solid sense of humor.
She makes fun of me because I'm so serious, but I don't mind. I know she's only joking. That afternoon, Anne and I stood on the driveway and watched the kids from Brandy's class arrive at the party. Brandy handed each one of them a little straw basket. They were really excited when Brandy told them about the egg hunt. And the girls got even more excited when Brandy told them the grand prize. One of those expensive American Girl dolls. No, but that is wildly expensive.
That's actually not bad.
My sister has a huge collection of them. They're like $100, $120 bucks a piece.
That.
But that's
Your
not.
sister would be
that is not a.
That. No, that's actually.
I would never see. Okay, and I bet you. See, but he's not bitching about that. He's bitching about the fact that his sister got to have an egg hunt. His sister gets whatever she wants. She got an egg hunt. He's not thinking about the fact that there's this expensive $100 prize for these children.
First of all, it's not his birthday, so chill out. I think when it's his birthday, he can probably do something just as quote-unquote nice and awesome.
When I was a kid, my mom never did these sort of things, where it's like if we had an egg hunt, it would be more like there was a prize for everybody. She never did that. Because that always sucks. You go to a birthday party.
One person wins this amazing thing and everybody else loses.
No, I remember going to a birthday party when I was a kid, and it was a pain in the ass. It was the middle of the night, and we were driving down a wooded road. We were trying to find this little, like, activity center in the middle of the woods where they had karaoke and a ball pit. It was kind of like super low-grade Chuck E. Cheese. Like, they didn't have an arcade or anything. They had karaoke, they had a ball pit, and then they'd have like a jar of jelly beans, and you'd try to guess how many, and then if you won, you got a bag of cotton candy. Why you didn't get the big jar of jelly beans, I'll never understand, but it was cotton candy. And I remember we got there, first of all, we got there super late because my mom and I got lost driving there. And then when we'd gotten there, all of the games were over and everybody had won cotton candy at one point or another, but I had missed out on all the games. And I was like 5, so I did kind of have a little bit of a tantrum. I think I cried a little bit. I think I was like, I didn't get any cotton candy.
Right, because you're left out.
Everybody got cotton candy. I used to lie about shit like that, too, which is kind of, when you're a kid, it's not really like a lie. I mean, it is a lie. It's straight up tripping, like, not true. But, when you're a kid, you just tell stories. And I remember there was a school-wide assembly where one of the Sea Dogs, who, for those of you who don't know, right now, they're the Red Sox farm team. They used to be the farm... In Portland, Maine. They used to be the farm team for, like, the Marlins or something.
Yeah, but now Red Sox.
But now it's the Red Sox, so they're the farm team in Portland, Maine. And we had an assembly where, like, the Red Sox pitcher came to school and talked to all of us. And, of course, we're all starstruck like it was fucking... it was Babe Ruth. And, of course, I'm more starstruck by that one than I was when Barbara Bush came to talk to the entire school. I was like, who's this old lady who's talking about her son all the time? I don't give a shit. But, yeah, who cares about your husband, lady? But,
nobody.
The Sea Dogs pitcher or whoever came, and one lucky person in the crowd won a Portland Sea Dogs baseball cap. And I was super jealous of it, and so I think in my mind I thought if I go home and I make a big deal about it...
That your mom's gonna be like, call the superintendent and be like, he deserves that baseball cap.
She did call... because I told her that everybody in the school got one except for me. And in my mind, what was going to happen was they were going to go, oh, that's a bummer. I'll go out and buy you one. That's what I thought would happen. And instead, she called the school to be like, Mike didn't get a baseball cap, and he's kind of upset about it. It's like, what the hell?
Almost nobody got one.
Literally one child got a baseball cap. And suffice it to say, I did not receive my Portland Reds... I keep wanting to call them the Red Sox. My Portland Sea Dogs baseball cap. I did get one eventually.
It haunts you to this day.
It haunts me to this day. I never received one. If I were to die tomorrow, my soul would wander this earth
seeking a baseball cap.
A Portland Sea Dogs baseball cap. And it's got to be one of the ones... See, now they're red, though, right? They've got the red visor with the red P.
Yeah.
But back then, see, I want the one from when they were the farm team for the Marlins, and it was that kind of nasty teal.
Yeah.
The teal.
Right. So you must scour the earth for that individual who did win.
Indeed. Of course, the boys started to grumble. Brandy should have had a prize a boy might like. Some of the boys started using their baskets as frisbees. Frisbees. See?
Frisbees.
Plastic flying
Copyright.
disc. Also, how about instead of choosing, well, one, you should choose a non-gender specific prize,
Yes,
but at the same
right.
time, why is any prize gender specific, Steve?
What if a boy wants the American Girl doll toy?
Yeah, but he can't outwardly want it, right? Because then the other boys are gonna pick on him.
Yes.
We need to
it
change
should be
society.
Okay.
It should be okay. Steve and I would play with an American
Yes.
Girl doll.
We want to win that American.
I want to win that American
want him
Girl
to
doll.
win that.
I'm
rooting for him.
I hope
I'm rooting for him.
Yeah, I hope that. What's the main kid's name? Brandon Scott Wallace? I don't know what his name is. We'll call him Brandon Scott Wallace.
Brandon. I want Brandon to win.
Brandon to win. Brandy and Brandon. Some of the boys started using their baskets as frisbees, and others began wrestling in the grass. I was a lot more sophisticated when I was 10, I muttered to Anne. When you were 10, you liked Ninja Turtles, Anne replied, rolling her
Ew,
eyes.
what's wrong with Ninja Turtles? So what? You can like Ninja Turtles too. It goes both ways, kids.
Well, she's more saying when you were 10, you liked Ninja Turtles, so Ninja Turtles are for kids.
Oh, pshaw.
The new Ninja Turtles movie was PG-13. You need to be 13 or have parental guidance to get into that film, so Ninja Turtles is not exclusively for those 10 and under. I did not, I protested. Yes, you did. You wore a Ninja Turtles t-shirt to school every day, Anne insisted. I kicked some gravel across the driveway. Name brand gravel from Gravel Quarries, owned by
She kicked
Anne
somebody
Gravel.
from the Gravel family. He just went.
Actually, I kicked some gravel across the driveway. He might literally be kicking her across the driveway.
He's like, hey, you.
It's just that when R.L. Stine wrote that chapter, people were like, I'm not sure we should have a whole section about a boy kicking a girl's ass at an egg hunt.
Okay.
So it's like, all right. And so he called her Ann Gravel. He subtly added the fact that I kicked some gravel across the driveway.
Kick me some gravel.
Just because I wore the shirt doesn't mean I liked them, I replied as my shoe repeatedly slammed into Anne's gut. Anne flung back her long hair. She sneered at me. I hate it when Anne sneers at me. You had Ninja Turtle cups, poof, and plates, poof, at your 10th birthday party, Dana, poof, and a Ninja Turtles tablecloth, poof, and we played some kind of Ninja Turtle pizza pie throwing game, poof, 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 poof. But that doesn't mean I like them, I declared. 3 more girls. Why is this kid so embarrassed of liking the Ninja Turtles? Like, that's
Stay strong, stay confident.
It's a pretty universally liked thing.
You like what you like.
And it's a pretty universally, like, masculine thing, too. It's not like... I mean, he seems to be all concerned about the gender stereotypes associated with a boy enjoying an American Girl doll. But, like, Ninja Turtles is not in any way, like... diminishing his masculinity.
No.
3 more girls from Brandy's class came running across the lawn. I recognized them. They were girls I call the Hair Sisters.
They have hair.
Everywhere.
We're in a world where people just don't have hair.
Finland. Nobody has hair in Finland.
Except for
Balls.
those Hair Sisters.
They're not sisters, but they spend all their time in Brandy's room after school doing each other's hair. Dad moved slowly across the grass towards them. He had his camcorder up to his face. The 3 Hair Sisters waved to the camera and yelled, "Happy birthday, Brandy!" Dad tapes all our birthdays and vacations and big events. He keeps the tapes on a shelf in the den.
That's going to be good to look back on. Good for him.
There's also a cabinet above our television with a padlock on it. It contains special event camcorder tapes that my mom and dad say are just for them. We never watched them.
Someday they're going to come across and oh boy, that's going to be a scarring night.
Man, that's not in the book, by the way. We never watched them. The sun beamed down. The grass smelled sweet and fresh. The spring leaves on the trees were just starting to unfurl. Okay, everyone, follow me to the back, Brandy ordered. The kids lined up in 2s and 3s, carrying their baskets. Anne and I followed behind them. Dad walked backwards, busily taping everything. Brandy led the way to the backyard. Mom was waiting there. The eggs are hidden everywhere, Mom announced, sweeping her hand in the air. Everywhere you can imagine.
Everywhere.
Okay. Okay, everyone, Brandy cried at the count of 3. The egg hunt begins. 1, Anne leaned down and whispered in my ear, "Bet you $5 $5 I collect more eggs than you. I smiled.
$5.
Anne always knows how to make
Ooh.
things more interesting. 2, you've got a bet, I told her. 3, Brandy called. The kids all cheered. The hunt for the hidden eggs was on. They all began hurrying through the backyard, bending down to pick up eggs. Some of them moved on hands and knees through the grass.
It's brutal.
They just
Through
immediately
barbed wire.
The barbs scraped their face. Blood poured down into the children's eyes, but they didn't waver
Hurdles.
for a second. They continued through as shrapnel pierced their back, but they were gonna win that American Girl doll. Because in Finland, all anyone ever wanted to be was an American girl.
Ooh.
They all began hurrying through the backyard, bending down to pick up some eggs. Some were on their hands and knees through the grass. Some worked in groups. Some searched through the yard on their own. I turned and saw Anne stooping down, moving quickly along the side of the garage. She already had 3 eggs in her basket. I can't let her win, I told myself. I sprang into action. I ran past a cluster of girls around the old doghouse, and I kept moving. I wanted to find an area of my own, a place where I could grab a bunch of eggs without having to compete with the others. I jogged across the tall grass, making my way to the back. I was all alone, nearly to the creek when I started my search. You know, it's kind of bullshit if Brandy wins the American Girl doll.
Yeah, she's like, it's my birthday, I win.
It's like when you go to kids' birthday parties and their grandparents would be there as well, and the grandparents would give their $150 gift, and then you're like, here's a babysitter's club book. I hope you enjoy it, but she can't.
It's pity for the person who has to go afterwards.
Right, you can't take your eye. She can't take her eyes off the Barbie dream house, but you're just like, I don't know.
I thought you would really like this.
My budget was about $350,
and yours was infinite.
I don't have Social Security checks coming in.
Sorry.
I spotted an egg hidden behind a small rock. I had to move fast. I wanted to win the bet. I bent down, picked it up, and quickly dropped it into my basket. Then I knelt down, set my basket on the ground, and started to search for more eggs. But I jumped when I heard a scream. And that's all the time we have for tonight, Steve. More tomorrow. Good night,
I
Steve.
can't wait. Good night, Mike. Good night, everybody.